All right, let's get right into it. If you're tired of all the noise and you just want a straight shot of focus guide to landing your first job in Python web development, well, you've come to the right place. We're going to break down the exact job-ready roadmap you need. Okay, let's do this. Does this look familiar? I mean, you've probably watched hours and hours of tutorials, you've started maybe a dozen different side projects, but you still don't feel any closer to actually being job ready. It's like you're drowning in information, right? That overload is real, and honestly, it's one of the biggest things that holds people back. But that's exactly what we're going to fix. We are cutting out all the fluff, all the extra theory you don't need right now, and we're giving you the straightest possible path from where you are today to cashing your first paycheck as a Python developer. This is your roadmap. So let's kick things off with phase one, building the foundation. And listen, I can't stress this enough. These things are completely non-negotiable. Seriously, before you even think about writing a line of Python, you have to get these core ideas down cold. And it all starts with HTTP. Just think of it as the official language of the internet. It's the set of rules that lets your browser talk to a server to ask for a web page, and for that server to talk back. Understanding this basic conversation is the absolute first step. So how does that conversation actually happen? Well, it's really just a simple four-step dance. First, your browser sends out a request. Second, a web server somewhere out there catches it. Third, it passes that request over to your Python app to figure out what to do. And finally, the server bundles up a response and sends it right back to your browser. That's it. That's the core loop of the entire web right there. Now, inside those requests, you're going to see two main types all the time: get and post. It's actually pretty simple. You use get to, well, get data, like when you're loading a web page. And you use post when you want to post or send data to the server, like when you're submitting a login form or maybe creating a new blog entry. And to finish off your foundation, you just need to get familiar with this checklist. You've got HTML and CSS, that's for building and styling your pages. Then you have REST APIs and JSON, which is how modern apps talk to each other. You can think of an API like a menu at a restaurant. It tells you what you can order from another program. In JSON, that's just the format the food comes in, nice and organized so computers can understand it. And finally, you've got to know what those status codes mean, like 200 for OK, 404 for not found, and 500 for, uh-oh, something broke on the server. All right, with that foundation solidly in place, we can finally get to the fun part: writing actual Python code for the backend. And right out of the gate, you're going to face your first big choice. And that choice is this: Flask or Django? This is a huge fork in the road for pretty much every new Python web developer, so let's break it down so you can make the right call for you. Okay, here's the 30,000-foot view. Flask is super beginner-friendly and really lightweight. It just gives you the bare essentials so you can learn how everything works from the ground up. Django, on the other hand, is the big industry standard. It's a full-stack powerhouse that comes with everything included for building huge, complex applications. If your goal is to get job ready fast and to really truly understand the fundamentals, I'd say start with Flask. It kind of forces you to learn all the essential concepts one by one: how to handle URL routing, how to use templates to create HTML, how to work with forms, and how to build those first APIs we were just talking about. It's an incredible learning tool. Now, just look at this for a second. This is a complete working web application. It perfectly shows Flask's whole philosophy. Start small, start simple, and then add only what you need when you need it. Now let's talk about Django. This is what real companies often use because it comes batteries included. What does that mean? It means critical features like a secure login system, a ready-to-go admin panel, and a powerful ORM for talking to databases. It's all built right in. That ORM, an object relational mapper, is a huge deal. It lets you work with your database using simple Python code instead of writing raw SQL, which saves a ton of time and helps you avoid mistakes. So, you've picked your framework. Awesome! The next step is to master the professional's toolkit. This is what really separates a hobby project from a production-ready application: knowing your way around databases and APIs. When you're just starting out and learning, you'll probably use SQLite. It's a simple, file-based database that's super easy to get started with. But when you're building for the real world, for a job, you need to know Postgres. It's the robust, powerful, go-to database for professional Python apps. Why? Because it's built to handle tons of data and has advanced features that keep everything safe and sound, which is, pretty critical for a real business. And how do you talk to these databases? With SQL.
That's structured query language. You don't have to be a world-class expert, but you absolutely have to know the basics: how to select data, how to insert new data, and how to update it. This simple query here is how you'd find all your users who are over 18. It's the language of data.
Next up, APIs. Almost every modern web job today involves either building APIs or using them. So this means you've got to understand REST principles, know how to structure your data with JSON, how to secure your API, and how to implement what we call CRUD operations. CRUD just stands for create, read, update, and delete. Think about it: creating a new user, reading their profile, updating their email, and deleting their account. That's CRUD. It's the 4 basic things you can do with data.
So you've built your application, it works perfectly, on your own computer, but that's only half the battle. The final technical phase is getting it connected to a front end, and most importantly, getting it live on the internet for everyone to see.
Just let that sink in for a moment. Deployment. This is the step that separates the people who can finish a project from those who can't. Learning to code is one thing. Learning to actually ship that code is what gets you hired. So mastering this checklist is absolutely crucial. You need Git and GitHub for version control. That's a must. You have to use virtual environments to keep your projects clean, and environment variables to keep your secret keys safe. And for a real-world server, you'll need tools like Junicorn, which is like a manager for your Python app, and Nginx, which acts like a traffic cop, directing users to it. Together, they make your app run fast and stay secure for real people. Okay, you've learned the skills. Now for the final push: turning all that knowledge into an actual job offer. This part is all about strategy, building your portfolio, and sticking to a timeline. Does this all feel like a lot? It doesn't have to be. With a really focused plan, you can be job ready in about 8 to 10 weeks. This timeline here breaks it all down into bite-sized chunks, starting with the basics and building up. And here's the most important part: the goal isn't to learn everything. The goal is to learn just enough to build and, critically, deploy 2 real projects for your portfolio. That's your proof. And this slide pretty much says it all. This is what hiring managers are really looking for. They don't care about the 1,000 tutorials you watched. They want to see clean, working code up on your GitHub. They want to see that you understand APIs and, maybe most importantly, that you have experience deploying a real live application. Your portfolio is everything. So there you have it, a clear, actionable, job-focused roadmap. The path is laid out right in front of you. The question isn't, what should I learn next, anymore? The only question left is, are you ready to start?